This is K1DBC. All stations please stand by. The DRC Learning Net will start in 5 minutes. This is K1DBC. The DRC Learning Net will start in 1 minute. All stations please stand by while the repeaters are placed into net mode.
PL off.
Hello and welcome. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie K1 DBC. My name is Daron. I am net control for the Denver Radio Club Learning Net tonight. This is a directed net for the purpose of connecting amateurs seeking help or advice with Elmers willing to mentor. This net meets every Wednesday, except the third Wednesday of the month at 1930 hours, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on W0TX repeaters 145.490 and 448.625. Both have a negative offset and a tone of 100. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? For recognition by net control, please use your call sign. Everyone is welcome. This is an on-air meeting for amateurs seeking help and Elmers giving their time to mentor. If you have any questions for the Learning Net and don't yet have your license or otherwise wish to contact the net, you may do so via email at drclearningnet@gmail.com. You can visit us at groups.io/g/ham learning net. Or you can view a live stream of this net, past nets, and past meeting topics at youtube.com/WEREGR8. This is K1DBC Net Control. We will begin by inviting Elmers only to check in with or without traffic. All Elmers, please check in now.
Alpha 0 Juliet Kilo, AA 0 JK, Fred Narvada, good evening.
All right, Net Control wishes to thank and acknowledge the following Elmers. AA 0 JK, Fred, thank you for checking in as always. Net Control would like to now take all other check-ins. They'll be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of your call sign. That would be the letter after the number in your call sign. If you can, please try to use IT phonetics as you check in and indicate if you have traffic or question for Elmers as you do. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Kilo 0 Echo Hotel Romeo Mark in Littleton, no traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Delta Lima Whiskey Daniel and Aurora. No traffic.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Bromfield.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Delta Golf Echo Andrew Denver, no traffic.
Good evening, Duran. Tom, K6HJV, Kilo 6 Hotel, Juliet Victor, Arvada, no traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Alpha Whiskey Charlie Brian Wheat Ridge. No traffic.
Whiskey 0 Mike Delta Kilo Madison Denver. No traffic. November 1 Golf Uniform Mike, Peter.
Okay, we'll go ahead and hold up there for just a moment. Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. K0EHR Mark, KF0DLW Daniel, AF0E Alex, KF0GDE Andrew, or that may have been, DGE, KF0 Delta Golf Echo Andrew, K6HJV Tom, KF0 AWC Brian, W0MDK Matt, and November 1 Golf Uniform Mike Peter. Thank you all for checking in.
W0TX Repeater.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I'll take one more call. If your call suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Kilo 0, Lima Alpha India, K0 LEI, Learning Liquid.
All right, Net Control, I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-in. K0LAI, Larry, thank you for checking in. I'll go ahead and open up to the whole alphabet. If your suffix begins with the letters A through Z, Alpha through Zulu, please check in now with your name, call sign, and let us know if you have any traffic or questions. Please call now.
Alpha Delta 0, Golf Echo, Robert Peyton, no traffic.
Kilo 0 Yankee Echo Sierra, Ken in Broomfield, no traffic.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. AD0GE Robert, K0YES Ken, and N0TRP Jim. Thank you all for checking in. Another call if you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net just for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions from the net, we're taking all call suffixes Alpha through Zulu. Please check in now with your name, call sign, and let us know if you have any traffic or questions. Please call now.
Kilo Echo 0, Sierra Uniform Mike, Jonathan, Lakewood, no traffic.
Whiskey 4, Papa Romeo Golf, W4 PRG, Newell and Thornton.
Deputy 0, CIB, Charles and Denver, no traffic.
All right, Net Control, I'd like to welcome to knowledge the following check-ins. KE0 S.t.e.m Jonathan, W4 PRG Newell, and WD0 CIV Charles. I'll take another call at the moment if you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. You can check in online if you'd like. If you search for W0TX or DRC on YouTube, or if you go to youtube.com/WEREGR8. If you're not licensed or otherwise aren't in the Denver area, you can always check in on there. But if you want to check in over the RF airwaves, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. There will be a few official opportunities to check in throughout the net, but don't ever hesitate to check in or chime in if you want at any given break or point. We're always more than welcome to get you in there. I don't see anybody indicated they had traffic, but if I missed something, or if there's any traffic questions or any other further check-ins for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, please call now.
A0JK.
All right, yeah, AA0JK. Fred, go ahead.
Oh, we don't want to hear any dead air time now, do we?
No, we don't.
Let's see. I don't remember whether it was here at the Learning Net last time, or whether it was on the Sunday night net. But somebody had questioned a document in the American Radio Relay League handbook, the main handbook of the ARRL, concerning grounding. And with closer observation, the document is correct. It's just that up in the far right-hand corner of the document, the question being asked was addressed there of the equipment in your ham stations grounding. This is a grounding topic, and it showed a bus bar there that had all of the equipment of your station hooked to the bus bar and then on to the ground. And sometimes you will hear the term daisy chain. Now, when you hear that, what that means is everything is hooked in series, which is a no-no. Just like the old-time Christmas tree lights were hooked in series, wired in series. One light bulb go out, and you lost the entire string of lights. Well, this is basically the same thing. You don't want to hook a ground, one piece of equipment to a piece of equipment sitting next to it and on down the line. You want each piece of equipment individually wired to a bus bar. Sometimes this can be as simple as a piece of copper tubing behind your desk, your operating position there, and then having your ground line going from each piece of equipment to that ground point or bus bar. But just wanted to try to take some of the mystery out of it. When you hear the term daisy chain, that's the best that I can do as far as explanation. So grounding topic can be quite confusing, and if there's any issue there that we might be able to help you out with concerning clarification, please let us know. AA0JK, back to Net Control.
W0TX repeater.
All right, A0JK, this is K1DBC. I think that was brought up on the Sunday night net. I'll have to try to go back and find that here. I think it may have been Rich, WD6DOK, that had brought that up. But yeah, we'll have to try to relay that info on to him or whoever had brought that up. But thank you for further researching into that. It sounded like there was a potential discrepancy in some of the ARL references and manuals there.
Comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
No discrepancy, no discrepancy. The discrepancy was in the eyes of the reader. The image was very small up in the right-hand corner of the document and wasn't taken note of. It was based on an entire grounding system, your antenna and your electrical system, and then your RF systems, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what he wanted to know was he was trying to address was the bus bar grounding. Back to net control, AA0JK.
All right, thanks there, Fred. A0JK, this is K1DBC Net Control. Okay, thanks for the follow-up there again. Yeah, absolutely, and we'll try to get that relayed on to who had brought that up. And yeah, I'll have to try to see if I can bring up that manual potentially by the end of the net here and see if I can bring that up. But otherwise, anybody have any other comments, questions, or anything on that topic or anything else, please let know.
K0LPR, late check-in, but I have a question, not regarding this topic.
No problem, absolutely. K0LPR, Lanier, I got you checked in. Yeah, go ahead with your question.
Well, I've been studying Morse code. I know the alphabet and the numbers, and now I'm graduating to words. And quite a long time ago, my first effort at this, and I gave up. Fred had sent me a website for 15 words a minute, and I'm just wondering, how long is it before a person can actually start reading those words? I'm still listening for the dits and daws. I know this isn't something you do overnight. Back to net, K0LPR.
JK.
All right, K0LPR, this is K1DBC. That's excellent. Yeah, glad to hear you're able to get the alphabet and some of the numerics, and yeah, you're moving on to trying to read by words. Yeah, I know there's there's the Koch method, KOCH, and yeah, it's definitely not an overnight thing, and I tried to get into it and really kind of fell out, unfortunately. But yeah, A0JK, Fred, go ahead.
AA0JK, hello, Lanier. Good to hear you in there, and great to hear that you have tackled and are succeeding with the Morse code. Some tips that I might want to reiterate if I hadn't already done so in the past is that as you were studying the Morse code, make sure that your characters that you are studying and practicing with are formed at, say, let's say 15 words a minute, or whatever your initial goal is, 20 words a minute. If you start out learning A as dit, da, okay, just as soon as you try to want to graduate to higher speed, da, the web processor between our ears has to totally reprogram. So when you are studying your words, your individual characters or your words, you want to make sure that those individual characters are sent at a rate of, say, 15, 20 meters or whatever your initial goal is. so that you don't have to totally, your brain doesn't have to totally relearn the characters. So that's one item there that I want to bring up. But as far as hearing the words, say for instance something as simple as your call letters, Linear. You can kind of practice listening to your call letters, and pretty soon you won't hear just the individual characters. You'll hear da 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 da. That's your call letters. You'll hear them as a group, or say CQ. Da 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 da. You hear that rhythm? Hear that rhythm that comes in it? Your call letters, your name. Practice those. The real basics of making a QSO. CQ, DE, dotted it, which is from, and then your call letters, and then your name and your location. And practice listening to those. If you can find bring up a website on the internet where you can actually type in the text and then play it back, or if you even have a recorder that you can do with your hand key and type it out. But they've got some great websites there where you can enter the text and play it back. Practice those initial characters and words for a QSO, and keep it simple, keep it basic, keep it simple. And any help you might need in the future or further comments, please let me know. That CW is my number one passion in ham radio. AA0JK.
Comment?
Go ahead.
Yeah, the one I'm using is 15 words a minute, and it's the 100 most popular words. That's what I'm working on right now. But thank you, Fred. Back to net, K0LPR.
That's an excellent way to go. Excellent. You'll start picking it up quite quickly. AA0JK, and keep us posted.
Comment.
Excellent conversation here. Excellent. Yeah, K0LPR. Hopefully, and thank you there, Fred, for all that info. That was definitely a lot of help. Yeah, you can definitely look up online. There's sites you can learn to hear your call sign or words like that. And yeah, as I was kind of mentioning, and I haven't really put it into practice myself, but there's this Koch method, KOCH. Let me close this thing here. Learning to use sending characters at the target speed, 2 characters, and when the person copying the code can copy 90% accurately, the coach adds a 3rd character to the mix. You can continue with those 3 characters until the learner is back to 90%, 4th, and so on and so on. Yeah, excellent. There was a comment in there. Go ahead.
Yeah, K0EHR. A couple comments, actually. So I'm kind of on the other beginning end of the spectrum. I'm going to start the CW Ops course in a couple of weeks here. I'm really excited about. But what I was going to mention is, of course, they kind of teach that from the beginning, or try to, learning the instant recognition and all that kind of stuff. But there was a really good session in the recent QSO Today, conference, the virtual conference, and it's called Wordsworth. And I think they opened it up to the public so you can watch the replays, but this is a guy that can recognize Morse at like 50-plus words a minute, and he gave a really good presentation on how you can build your ability to recognize words over characters. And he even gives examples on how you can create a text file, feed it into FLDigi, and have it repeat back, and all kinds of really good tips. So, Lanier, you might want to check that one out, because it seems like he has a really good technique for doing that. Back to net.
Comment.
Perfect. Thanks there, Mark EHR, for that comment there. You have to try to bring up the Wordsworth presentation from the recent QSO Today Ham Expo, and some of the tips and tricks. Yeah, excellent. Thanks for that. Yeah, Easier GK. Fred, go ahead.
Yeah, good points. Also, I don't want to leave out that or mention that the ARRL has nightly broadcasts on your radio. There you can listen to Morse code being broadcast from the ARRL. If you go up to the website, you'll be able to bring up their schedule, and they give it at different rates, speed rates, and listen to those from time to time when you have a chance. And don't worry about it if you can't just copy all of it. Just kind of go through and pick out characters that you recognize. And before long, you'll be recognizing one character, then two characters, and then all of a sudden you'll start hearing groups like in words. But just listen to it and don't try to do an error-free copy. But just being able to listen and hear those characters over the air and being able to recognize them and build up your proficiency listening to some of their broadcasts. AA0JK, back to net control.
Comment?
All right, AA0JK, this is K1DBC. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the W1AW operating, they have ARL just code practicing daily, it sounds like. So, yeah, you have plenty of opportunities to try to listen in on live transmissions there. And, yeah, it looks like the QSO Today Ham Expo, yeah, there's a presentation named Wordsworth by K1IG, George Allison. Looks like a pretty good topic here about how to learn CW and getting it in your head, things like that. There was another comment in there. Go ahead.
First of all, this is W0, Fox Charlie, Jerry, checking in.
All right, sounds good. W0FSC, Jerry, got you checked in. Go ahead.
Okay, so my comment is different. I worked hard using the Koch method and a few other methods, and I came across last year in the Ham Expo CW Ops. So I signed up for CW Ops this year for the beginner course, and we spent twice a week with an instructor, and there were 3 students, and somehow working together with an instructor one-on-one with the 3 students in the class really helped tremendously in getting my code speed up. And I'm not great, I'm at about 7.5 to 10 now, but considering where I was before, I can't even, so I can just, my 2 cents worth is, I would recommend looking at CW Ops. They have 4 classes a year. Sign up with them. I think you will find it a tremendous adjunct to what you're trying to do, and it's so nice doing it with an instructor who keeps working with you and helping you, and just spending that time and having 2 or 3 other people in your class really makes a big difference. W0FFC, bye.
Question?
All right, perfect there, Jerry. Yeah, as Jerry mentioned, as Mark mentioned, as Larry has mentioned in the past, cwops.org, great academy they have, and yeah, go sign up at 4 times a year. So yeah, very, very cool. cwops.org. There was another question in there. Go ahead.
Yeah, N0TRP here. I'm also working on the code, and I've been using the LCWO website, doing the Koch method, and that's been working fairly well for me. I just don't spend nearly enough time at it, just a few minutes each night. And it really takes, I think one of the keys is just lots and lots of practice daily. And Fred, I have a question for you, and that is on special characters. What are the special characters that the code guys really know and need to use? I know you can get special characters for parentheses and other things, but what are the special characters that you really want to know?
AA0JK. Just if you write out a basic CQ, you send CQ 3 times, DE, that's from, there's one of your characters, DE, and then your call letters, and some of the other shorthands. If you look at Q calls, Q signals, Q calls, bring up a list of those, and you'll see a whole bunch of shorthands there, like QSL, QRT, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And those are your shorthands that you'll be hearing a lot of as you're on the air having a QSO. Does that help?
Well, my this is N0TRP here. Question is, what about the comma, period, or I guess I should have said punctuation marks? What punctuation marks do we need to learn?
I wouldn't worry too much about that at first until you've developed a little bit of proficiency. But things like question mark, did it, did it? Boy, does that have a rhythm to it. Did it, did it? Or period, did it? And you just work on your proficiency of getting your characters and your words in a basic QSO first, and don't get in a snag of worrying about some of those. But you'll see there, Duran has a good listing right there on the screen. There you go, punctuation. But there, you'll hold it there, Duran, and there's you got your comma, did it, and full stop, did. Some of those as they come into after you build some proficiency, you can start adding some of those. But don't get hung up on those just as yet. Get the basics down first. Oh boy, I hope I didn't totally blow that. AA0J Big A back to net control. Hope that helped.
Yes, that did help. Thanks so much, Fred. The N0TRP back to net.
All right, this is K1DBC. Yeah, absolutely. Good question there with the different punctuation or whatnot used in CW. Yeah, I was about to mention the traffic nets. I don't know how much CW they do, how much CW traffic there is on the national traffic system, but maybe whatever's important to them would be the most important to us in regards to like special characters or punctuation, things like that if needed. But yeah, I guess listening in and just trying to hear those different signals. Yeah, and it sounds like it looks like the punctuation is pretty. Looks like a little robot face for a question mark, two dots, two dits, and another two dots, and then commas inverse of that, and full stop and inverse seem to be fairly simple as well. So, yeah, great question about CW. Anyone else on the topic of Morse code, learning Morse code, different methods, anything else on that? Please call now.
W0FFC with a comment.
Yeah, FFC, Jerry, go ahead.
W0TX repeater.
So the comment was made about practice. And the one thing about CW Ops is if you're meeting twice a week, it forces you to do the practice. And they recommend an hour a day. I found 15 to 20 minutes a day was more than enough. But knowing that I'm going to meet with my classmates and not wanting to look unprepared, it gives you that momentum to keep practicing and practicing and practicing. The problem I've always had in the past is, well, you do it for a couple of days and then you get busy doing a couple of other things. When you're going to be going back to class and people are going to ask you questions or you're going to have to say, this is what I heard, somehow that provides a tremendous incentive, and that's what I needed to do to get over the hump.
Yeah, W0FSC, this is K1DBC, absolutely, yeah. Just the motivation or incentive of meeting once every couple of weeks and being able to show your improvements to others. I mean, absolutely, that definitely helps encourage you and gives you encouragement. And yeah, that's you know, you can practice on your own and you figure it out. And if you can, that's great. Otherwise, you know, a group study, things like that, having study buddies and other people working towards the same goal definitely is very, very helpful. Yeah, great options there. Again, cwops.org. Thanks again for that, Jerry.
Comment.
Yeah, A0JK, go ahead.
A0JK, and just for fun, whenever you get a chance, take a look at some of the old-time Army and Navy websites, and take a look at some of their teaching teaching classes on Morse code. It's old, they're old, but very good. CW is still the same now as it was then. But a lot of good points on how to properly form your dots and your dashes. And I shouldn't say dots, your dits and your das. You want to refer to them as dit, da. And it's
plays an important part in the news.
Those old training films put out by the military, and a lot of good points that will help you out as you're learning CW. Back to net control, A0JK. Yeah, there's one right there.
Transmitted in International Morse code. To illustrate the basic elements of International Morse code, let us take the words, "we do."
All right, A0JK, this is K1DBC. Yeah, absolutely. Just a quick Google search of Army, Navy, CW, Morse brought up a couple videos here of 1934, 1944 training videos, and yeah, just really interesting how their practices and their learning skills are definitely can be applied even nowadays. It's very, very interesting. So yeah, really cool nostalgia and to look at that stuff and to hear this kind of stuff. So yeah, very cool.
Another form of incorrect sending. He is tense. Sending on.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I'll go ahead and take this opportunity to take further check-ins. If you've just tuned in, my name is Daron. My call sign is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. I am Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. This is an on-air meeting for amateurs seeking help and Elmers giving their time to mentor and help us. Everyone is welcome to join in. If there is anyone who wishes to check in at this time, please do so with your call sign. You try to, if you can, using IT Phonetics, your name, and state if you have traffic or questions for the net. Please call now. All right, another call. This is K1DBC Net Control. If there's anybody who wishes to check in at this time for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, please call now.
Comment.
Yeah, A0JK, go ahead.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions via Morse code or any other topics concerning amateur radio, you can email me at Elmer, E-L-M-E-R, at W0TX.org. That's my Denver Radio Club email address. That's Elmer at W0TX.org. Or if you just want to chat, I'm always generally monitoring this frequency and 449.350. And spend a lot of time here in the shack, and you might be able to just get your questions answered by either one of those resources there. So you don't have to wait necessarily for a net to come up to place your questions so you don't have to wait. AA0JK, back to net control.
All right, this is a K1 DBC net control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, to reiterate, yeah, you never have to wait for this net to bring anything up. As Fred mentioned there, yeah, Elmer at W0TX.org. He does have his phone number also listed under the W0TX.org officer's site. And as mentioned, yeah, plenty of us monitor the frequency, not only that what you're on now, the 145490 or 44865, but also some of our other frequencies. Fred mentioned there, the 449350, I believe. Yeah, never hesitate to reach out if you want via email, via phone. We're always here to try to help as much as we can. Thank you very much. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Again, also we're streaming this on youtube.com/WEREGR8, or if you search for W0TX. You can view some of the things that we've been talking about. I've tried to bring up videos and images and text about what we're talking about. So check in there if you want as well. With that, one more time, if you would like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, we're taking all calls A through Z. Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, don't ever hesitate to check in at any given time, any given break that you hear. Don't ever hesitate to chime in. But with that, anyone else have any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else you'd like to bring up for the net? Anything we've spoken about so far, or anything else you'd like to bring up? Please call now.
W0TX repeater.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I've been a little bit distracted recently doing some other things in my life at the moment. I don't have too many stories that I can bring up at the moment, but we could just try to go over some blogs that we'd like to bring up here, and I'll throw back to the net here in a minute.
Comment?
Yeah, Fred, comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, stealth antennas. Oh, boy, something, if you limit it in space and wanted to try putting together a stealth antenna, look at the Slinky. Look at the Slinky antennas. If you're familiar with the Slinky toy, some hams out there are making antennas out of those. And not only do they take up less space, but I hear that they're quite effective. But there's always the question there of properly hooking them up. I'll try to. I think I've already listed some on the upcoming newsletter. Some of the links that you can bring up on the internet, considering that antenna and the proper way of hooking those up. But if you're in a situation where that you got limited space, this Slinky does everything from 80 meters to 10 meters. So that's a fun project, but it does take a little finesse as far as hooking them up, and they're most effective when used with twin lead ladder line instead of coax, and a tuner. So just for fun, or if you've got limited space or a stealth situation, take a look at the Slinky antenna, AA0JK.
All right, A0JK Fred, this is K1DBC. Slinky dipoles. Sneaky dipoles as well. Very cool using the Slinky toys. So, yeah, sounds like you have some information coming up in a future roundtable newsletter. But, yeah, check it out if you want... if you're looking for a stealthy antenna, if you have HOA or any other covenant restrictions or what have you not... Slinkies would provide a good good way to get you on the air. Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, just watching a video of construction of one. Yeah, it looks like just raising it up. It looks like kind of any normal antenna. You wouldn't be surprised to kind of see that. But yeah, very, very cool, the Slinky antenna. Thanks, Fred. A0JK, this is K1DBC, Net Control. Anyone else? Any other comments, questions on anything we've brought up so far or anything else you'd like to bring up? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I can bring some things up here, I guess. If you do have anything else, let me know at the moment. Otherwise, I can bring some things up and then bring it back. So if anybody else had any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else you'd like to bring up for the net just at the moment, please call now.
Comment?
Yeah, go ahead with the comment.
W0FFC again. With a Slinky, I assume you need to use an antenna tuner with it? And has anybody ever tried it? Do they work?
AA0JK, oh yes, they do work. And the transmatch is probably required. And also, I've read that they're more effective if they're fed with twin lead rather than coax. So if you have your twin lead coming in to your transmatch, aka antenna tuner, the transmatch combination is very effective. W0TX has a video there. Boy, he's got a lot of great videos. And he used to work with the ARRL, but he's since retired and living in the Dakotas. But if you want to get some insight into the theory on the Slinky dipole, he's got a great video there. W0TX. Back to Net Control.
Question.
Go ahead.
KE0SUM. So with the Slinky dipole, you're basically stringing it out to a certain length, and then you need to analyze it, or else how would you know which band you're going to be resonant on?
Well, get something like, somewhere, depending upon how much room you have, 60 feet or 30 feet or 60 feet. Depending upon the conditions. Some people string them out in their attic, and but I don't think it's. It seems like I heard the figure 30 and then also 60, but those also relate to the bands of 40 meters and 20 meters. But I think it's just a matter of how much real estate you have to work with, how much room you have to work with. You can put it in an inverted V configuration, or I saw their drone had a site up there that showed if somebody putting it up in a vertical configuration, but I think that would be rather difficult. But you might as well have a regular vertical antenna if you've got a place to do that. But it kind of depends upon how much real estate you have, how much room that you have to work with. And it does require a transmat, and don't expect a one-to-one SWR. That is a waste of time, and in a lot of cases, chasing SWR is futile. Has nothing to do with tuning your antenna. SWR is just adjusting for the mismatch of your feed line so that the transmitter is happy. So don't get that stuck in your head that everything has to be one-to-one. AA0JK, back to net control.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control, A0JK. Yeah, thanks for all the follow-up there. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, it does require a tuner, and as you mentioned, yeah, the s.t.e.m W1GV has a great video and great write-up on that as well. And yeah, it looks like there was somebody other trying to use it as a vertical as well, and as you mentioned, like twin feed line seems to work best potentially as well. So, anyone else on that s.t.e.m, FFC, anyone else, or A0JK, please call now.
W.
Comment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's really not a 100-watt antenna either. It's more of a QRP. You know, you kind of keep it down. You know, you could probably get away with 25. I don't know whether you'd want to go much over 50 watts, but that would be even better yet to operate QRP with a slinky if you're in an apartment or townhouse situation. AA0JK.
Comment.
All right, perfect for the information there. Potentially use it as a QRP antenna. Comment, yeah, s.t.e.m, go ahead.
No, Fred, I was watching also online because drone pulled up the guy doing it vertically, and I thought that was interesting because a while back I took a fiberglass fishing pole and just wrapped speaker wire 33 feet of it down. It looked sort of like that, but I took it out and tested it. It turned out to be pretty good on 20 and 40, and I got contacts, and I was using 90 watts. So, interesting. I just thought I'd throw that in. KE0SUM, back to net.
AA0JK.
All right, sounds good there, Jonathan, for the follow-up on that. Good experimentation there. A0JK, Fred, go ahead.
Yeah, seeing that video that you've got there, Daron, it looks like he's only got half of the antenna there with only one slinky. Normally, you would make your slinky with two of those slinky toys, and I don't know whether Walmart still carries those or not, but I'm quite sure that on the internet you can find it. But that looks like an interesting website there. If he is using a slinky for his main radiator, and then a ground plane or other half is just a regular straight piece of wire. I'm going to have to take a look at that video there. What is that video, Daron? I got to take a look at that.
Also, he's not putting out any radials or counterpoise.
That was my concern there. The counterpoise without being able to actually listen to the whole video, has to have a counterpoise there somewhere. So that was my question also, was what he's using for the other half of the antenna, the counterpoise. A0JK.
All right, gotcha. Yeah, looks like it's. I was couldn't see it there. Name of the channel is Mike Hanna, Hannah, Mike, Mike Hanna. It looks like the name of it is a ham radio HF homebrew antenna, 80 meter to 6 meter vertical slinky antenna. Yeah, great questions though about the counterpoise and the other half. Yeah, but it looks like he has it on an extendable, I think maybe fishing rod or something like that as well. Yeah, good questions.
Very inexpensive also, if you're on a tight budget.
Comment?
Yeah, great topic there. Follow-up. There was a comment. Go ahead.
This is Jerry W0FFC. This is a question I'm totally ignorant about. I do know that antennas do have, shall we call them hot spots, where you've got a lot of radiation, and if you touch it, you can get burned. Would this have the same type of issue?
All antennas have their nulls, their hot spots, and you want to keep them up to where animals and kids don't inadvertently come in contact. So, if you've got them well overhead and up out of reach, you shouldn't have to worry about that. And that's only when you're transmitting. A0JK.
All right, sounds good there, Fred. A0JK in response to FFC in regards to the antenna heat hotspot and potential burn issues. So yeah, it sounds like there shouldn't be much of an issue unless you're transmitting, and and used for QRP as well. So good questions there. Anything else on that, or any of the other anything else? Anything you'd like to bring up? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. It looks like we're nearing the normal end time here. It's around 8:30 already. Went by pretty quick. We've had a lot of good conversations, a lot of check-ins, a lot of people. Appreciate everyone being here. But anyone else have any other... there's no hard stop here, so I'll take any other further comments, questions, check-ins, anything else you'd like to bring up for the net. Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I'll quickly just roll through a few things here, bring it back to the net, and then we'll probably start to wrap things up here in just a few minutes. All right, over on the blog, rtl-sdr.com, always a great website if you have any interest in software-defined radios, radio in general. Let's see. Some of the recent posts is we've been talking about some of the higher band reception, satellite reception. We were talking about in the Elmers session last week, some of the amateur radio astronomy. So there's an article here for pre-order sale for an active L band, which is 1525 to 1660 megahertz Inmarsat and Iridium patch antenna back in stock for $45 or so. So they have it's designed for receiving L-band satellites such as Inmarsat, Iridium, GPS, and other satellites that transmit between 1525 and 1660 megahertz. You can't use it for weak signals like HRPT or GOES. These are the those would be the high resolution, some of the high resolution imaging satellites. But it comes with a large suction cup, extension cable. So yeah, if you ever want to do any reception of those satellites, pretty cheap to get into.
W0TX repeater.
Another space-related article here, Project Orus 55. It's live video from a high-altitude balloon. So these projects are definitely more common nowadays, but getting live video you don't see too often. So it's a project involving creating a high-altitude balloon with a payload that could broadcast live video down to ground station observers, as well as creating the ground station receive hardware. On March 27th, 2021, the balloon was launched and ground station observers successfully received live video. Transmission hardware on board the balloon was a Raspberry Pi Zero, which captured and compressed the video, and a Lime SDR Mini, which broadcast a DVB-S signal at 445 megahertz. Power amplification was provided by an 800 milliwatt LDMOS amplifier, and the ground station was RTL SDRs, where it was used for receiving, and SDR Angel as the software. High gain auto tracking Yagis were used, but the balloon chase team were also able to receive the video with a simple vehicle mounted turnstile. So just watching the video now of the their group, the Amateur Radio Experimenters Group. You can find more info on them, areg.org.au. Really cool video that they were able to get live, and yeah, really cool experiment. So yeah, high altitude balloons. We've spoken about the local group here, EOSS, Edge of Space Sciences. If you have any interest, EOSS.org. If you have any interest in high altitude balloon launches or working with any STEM schools or universities or anything like that, really cool opportunities locally here. Just looking over on hackaday.com, another great blog. Engineering in general, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, all sorts of disciplines. So if you have an interest in 3D printing, coil winding, oxygen concentrators, working with 30-year-old Macintosh, lots and lots of stuff. Hackaday.com, really cool blogs and articles there. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning, and I don't have much more at the moment, but I'll take any other further comments, questions, check-ins, anything else you'd like to bring up for the net, please call now.
Whiskey Delta 6 Delta Oscar Kilo, late check-in. Yeah, Rich and Arvada, no traffic, sorry.
All right, WD6DOK, Rich, got you checked in. You may want to check the YouTube video at some point for this net. I know that Fred, I think if it was you that had brought up on Sunday night some of the grounding questions, but Fred had kind of covered that, so you may want to check that out if you want.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Or after the net, we can chat. AA0JK.
That sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely. Great suggestion there. Thanks, Fred, AA0JK. I guess real quick on that, again, youtube.com/WEREGR8. If you search on YouTube for W0TX or my call sign K1DBC. If you missed the recent monthly meeting or the Elmer session or any of the recent monthly meeting or Elmer sessions or any of the nets, Wednesday night or Sunday night nets, I have those captured on there. You can go and listen to that. Also put up a recent soldering project of a voltmeter soldering kit. So plenty of stuff to check out if you want. And again, it looks like W0TX is trying to potentially revive their YouTube channel. So if you go to W0TX.org, you'll have a link now for the DRC YouTube channel. And they have some of their, they have the videos that they posted on there. But hopefully they might be posting more soon. So yeah, plenty of content to check out. With that though, I'll put a last final call. Any last check-ins, comments, questions for the net? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Thank you very much for checking in. We are getting more increased volume here with the check-ins over the air, online. I appreciate everyone checking things out. Don't ever hesitate, as we mentioned throughout the net, you never have to wait for Wednesday nights to ask any questions. We're always on the air, same frequency you're on now. If you go over to the W0TX.org webpage and select the club officers, as Fred mentioned, he's always happy to take any questions. Elmer at W0TX.org. We're also DRC Learning Net at gmail.com. Yeah, don't ever hesitate to reach out to any of us individually if we put our information out there, and yeah, let us know. So this evening we had a total of 20 check-ins. Thank you all for being here. Glad to hear new call signs in there. Appreciate everyone checking in. Yeah, don't ever hesitate to check in just for the count, or if you ever want to just chat. We especially appreciate and thank our Elmers, and thanks to the Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use their repeaters. Feel free to join us on the third Wednesday of the month, 6 p.m. for an Elmer session prior to the Denver regular scheduled Denver Radio Club meeting at 7 p.m. Elmer session just like this, just a general Q&A. And again, it was put up on YouTube, so if you want to check that out, you can do that. And then the last meeting was put on by Steve. Let me bring this up here. Last meeting was, Steve, WD8DAS, RF noise. And so he kind of went into how to detect it and how to what you can do to prevent it, as well as you can go over the Elmer session that we went over as well. All right, please join us next week, 1930 hours, 7:30 p.m. for the next Learning Net. All stations please stand by while the repeaters are placed into normal mode.
P.
All right, again, thanks everyone for being here. Continued involvement. Never have to be a club member to get involved in any of our activities or anything else. And if you're not a ham radio operator, please try to join us online if you want to join in on the conversation. Otherwise, you're always more than welcome to just listen in over the air. With that, I will say 7-3 to all. It's been a pleasure as always. Definitely get in contact with us however you want. With that, everyone take care. 7-3, I am clear. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining me here, as always. Again, if you want to see something, let me know. Pretty casual with my YouTube channel. Again, it's not, there's no monetization. So if you ever dislike something, let me know. Or like something, let me know. If you want to see more of something, we'll go from there. But again, I'm trying to have a field day, the 2019 field day video coming out here soon. Yeah, we didn't mention field day today. But coming up June 26th, 27th. So we'll see what the plan is for that. So with that, everyone take care.